Yeah. So again, now on to football. Delilah and Andy, since you're here, you can sit here and listen to what a real football team is going to sound like this year. No, I'm kidding. For those that don't know, Anthony is a Falcons fan. Or, see, look, he's gonna laugh. See, you let him laugh in the background there because as is, see, he's just gonna sit there because again, Delilah and I, as you both know, hail from the great city of Chicago. And this year, our beloved Bears have been getting trashed by the mainstream media about what we're going to do this year. All of them. I mean, if you watch predictions everywhere, we're going to go 3-14. We're going to go 5-12. We're going to go 4-13. We may win 6 games. And it just, so I want to talk, Delilah, I'm going to come straight to you with this. You've been watching a little bit of the training camp, seeing how we're doing. What is your feeling for this year coming into with the new GM, new coach, new offense, all that? How are you feeling about Bears football in 2022?
I think we're gonna see a lot. I feel like we're gonna see a lot ugly because that's what he came to do. I think people forget that even the Chiefs were ugly for a while too before he came on board. So I'm okay with him cleaning house. It's like these contracts were ridiculous on aging defensive men. I know people are upset. Like I love those guys. I have no hate on any of the guys that went for their fortune to try to get that last hurrah, right? But I understand it, right? It's like we need to bring in new talent, and watching that happen, I know it can be brutal. But do I think we're gonna win the division? No, I'm gonna be realistic, but I think we'll be more competitive than what people think. I do like that the offensive coaches are being more strict with our players because I feel like that's been lax in the past. So yeah, now they gotta put discipline, and some of these guys don't like it. And I'm like, sorry, like
That's
this
right.
is football. Like if you can't put your big boy pants on and do what needs to be done to learn a new scheme, to learn a new system, then we're gonna trade you. Looking at you,
Yeah.
Trevor.
Evan Jenkins, right.
Yeah,
No, and
look
that's
at
I'm glad
you,
you brought that
Tevin.
up, Delilah, because yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up because I was just thinking about that. I'm like, here's a guy who missed a lot of last year's rookie season, right? He didn't play more than half the year. Finally gets in at the end. You get a chance to come into training camp fresh, new coaches, new whatever, and you just want to act up and be a fool and not, buy into the system or whatever. And I'm glad they're thinking about trading him because if you're not with the program, you got to go, man. Like, I appreciate the approach that they're taking with this because, as you
I do
said,
too.
they want to come in here and change the attitude. They want to turn this thing around. The Bears have literally, I mean, are one of the most storied franchises in all of football. And I know people will say, well, yeah, that's kind of a padded stat because they're one of the, they're also one of the original football teams. But the Bears do have, by one game only, but have the most wins in NFL football history. I mean, we've been around forever. We're a storied franchise. And for the last 35 years, we've been a laughing stock to a lot of people. And it's
Right.
about time that the culture changed. It's about time that we got people in here who are willing to be hardline and be like, hey, this is what we're
Right.
doing. You don't want to get with it, you can get out.
And
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 that's just
and
the
Paul
bottom line. And that's the
and
way it should
Paul
be.
said it. You got 1 year to turn it around. So the new coach, like, everybody's like, oh, who's this Matt guy? He's got 1 season. And he's like, basically, he's like, don't mean you gotta stick around. He's been saying that a lot about like the coaching staff, and sometimes that's just how it is. So I'm perfectly fine with it. I know that so it's rubbing people the wrong way, but we haven't had football minded people in a long time in Chicago, and I think that's trying to get used to that again, right? Because for
Yeah, I
decades
mean,
we haven't
absolutely.
had football thinking people in charge that have to make these types of decisions that people are like, whoa, why are they doing this? I'm like, because it has to be done. It
Yeah.
hasn't been done for a long time, and so again, change of culture is hard. I don't think we'll be murdered this season, but I also am going to be realistic and
Right.
knowing who we're playing against in our division as well. And so, do I think we're gonna have like we're gonna
Yeah.
be demolished all the time? No, I think we're gonna do okay, and that's just an honest opinion. We'll win a few of these games, and
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. All I want to see is improvement. I want to see
Yeah.
improvement. I want to see improvement
Yeah.
on offense. I
Absolutely.
want to see Justin Field protected. I want to see if
Yep.
he can do what he did in Ohio, right? If that's not a fluke, can he come into
Yep.
the NFL and actually get a
Yep.
shot, right? Because last season he was the most sacked, right? So it's like, how are you gonna
Okay.
actually perform if you're constantly on the ground, right? So I feel this year we
That's
can
true.
actually see what this kid's about. So we'll see. But I'm excited to see things happen. And yeah, it's gonna rub people the wrong way. Like, get used to it. Change has come, all right? And change is hard for people. Gotta adjust.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. And I just, man, like you said, improvement is what I want to see. We won 6 games last year and it was really ugly. I just want to see the improvement. I want to see the line protect, like you said. I want to see the defense defend. Like, I want to see people go after the ball. I want to see people tackle. I mean, it's amazing to me that sometimes the fundamentals get lost in all of this, but I just want to see some good football. Hell, come
Seriously.
on, man.
Like,
Not a
how
lot to
many
ask for.
all
Not a
the
lot to ask
points,
for.
all the points we allowed on defense, all the lackluster
Yeah.
points. Cairo Santos had the most points for us, and he's our kicker. No hate on that. Like, we know how important kickers are now, but still.
Exactly. So, Handy, let me ask you, as an outsider looking in, because I know you follow this stuff too, how do you feel about our beloved Bear coming into the 2022 season, my friend?
All I know is on week 10, y'all gonna lose.
Oh, is that what you're? Oh, sure. Oh,
Pew
sure.
pew,
'Cause we
shots
play the
fired.
Falcons, right?
Rise up.
Yeah. When
No,
you're when we sacked Mariota 6 times, right? Sure. Go ahead, Marcus.
Listen, let's go ahead. Let's
see.
go ahead and let's jokes aside. Jokes aside.
Jokes aside, sure.
I for the moment, because y'all know me, I got jokes.
That's right. Yeah,
I agree with just about everything you guys have said. Like, there's so much room for improvement. I know you said you guys have been a laughing stock for 35 years, but I mean, there are a few years in there in the early mid 2000s, and then again when you made that run at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we don't talk about that here. That's very sad.
But still, man, that's at that. But still, you were in the upper echelon of the league that year.
For 2 years, yes, thank you.
But everybody keeps making the comparison to no matter what happens, the comparison will always be the 85 Bears, just like the 72 Dolphins will always be the gold standard for the Dolphins. Lot of work to be done. I know this isn't a college football show, but I don't have a whole lot of love for Justin Fields because he's already shown, just based on how he did in college, that given an adverse situation, he'd rather find a way to leave that situation and put himself in a more favorable situation. But I mean, I got to give it to him. The kid's going back out there. We just have to see how he holds up this season. Your offense is definitely going to have to protect him. I mean, shoot.
Oh yeah, well, of course.
That boy was running. That boy was running last season like somebody told him the 4 for 4 was 4 for 1. You mean I get 4 for $1? So
all right, maybe we have to rethink this third member thing. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But all right, well, listen. No, go ahead. Well, finish your thought. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Say what you want to say. It was a rough season for your squad last year, and the only thing at this point that will do for both the squad and for the fans and for the potential lengthening of the coach's contract is improvement. So I get it. That's what y'all are looking for. You hoping to see some improvement this season, and I'm 100% with you because I was interested. I was interested to see what was going to happen with Justin Fields there, just because I know the kid could ball, but it was
right.
It wasn't enough. Same thing with Trevor in Carolina. Not Carolina.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.